Well, hello everybody, check this out. Heroes and Generals. We are going to take a look at attack teams in specific. If you look at the map, it's day 5 of the war. Very uncharacteristic that Germany hasn't pushed us all the way back and the U.S. hasn't come over top down to Leningrad, Moscow. It just seems like every single war the Soviets we come out strong out of the gates, and we're within 1 or 2 towns of closing it out, but we just can't get to the final town to win. As it shows up here, you need 15 of the 23 major cities to win. That's actually a really big achievement on this board. There's a lot of great players and a lot of, there's 3 great factions that play. So, but without further ado, let's see, what war is this actually? This is war 377. Okay, nice. And so you can see how the fronts are. Pretty much it looks like a triangle. So down, 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 and the wars are the fronts. So Soviet, German, right here, the dark purple is German, the brown Soviet, the green US, the brown Soviet, and then down here on this front, the Germans and the Americans US team. And I'm not sure why they put that US, probably because most players are US on here. And they will subdivide the factions out, I think, as the game gets more and more into it. It's been in beta for a very long time. If they can keep the player base happy, they'll probably be able to roll out new factions like the Italian faction. If it's a place on the map, they've said this in a developer stream before, if it's on the map, it's meant to actually play. So I can't imagine they wouldn't subdivide the Axis into the Italians and have the Italians come out of here. And then occupy in the northern section where the U.S. and the Germans fought like a lot. Well, the U.S. and the Axis, I should say, during the war fought a lot down here. So a lot of the Italian troops and German troops that were occupying North America and had come around through here as well. So I do think that long term we'll see some routes that shoot off of here and come through Spain, although I don't think Spain participated. The Germans hadn't quite made it down there. I don't think they can get past the Basque region up here. Anyway, I digress. Attack teams. Let's talk about that. So if you look in the right-hand bar here, I've got a lot of attack teams that are assigned to generals. I don't have a lot of them that are out and ready to go. Like these are deploys. Deploy. This one needs to be changed out. It's been morale beat up. And while I was offline, I had to surrender a couple to the Germans who were coming up through this pass here. We were guarding this. We had actually taken Prague before, and they took it back. We actually had Belgrade, or Budapest, I should say, and they took it back. And we were pushing Belgrade when everything started to collapse. We even had the Istanbul pass down here to make it down here to Istanbul in War 377 here, and we go through. So if I look, and I wanted to look at what's being attacked here, we'll zero in on these guys and say Gorlice, and this is always very, very, very contested. So, and I moved out some tank troops over to here earlier that also need reinforced. So let's see. We're going to be coming out of Warsaw, I believe. Yep. And let's go ahead and make the change. So you're going to go into your HQ, and this is where you're going to be able to look through all of your officers, basically. So the B2, my main character, has 4 command points. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very much a new officer in the grand scheme of things. There are tons and tons of people that have just crazy amounts of points. Not deployed. So basically, he's in command of a couple of troops that aren't deployed yet. 3, and 1's rebuilding. So if it says rebuilding, that's going to correspond to this guy over here who's low. He's the only one. Yep. So you're going to go ahead and take him off the map. By checking the box, it's going to go away, boom, and then I'm going to be able to deploy something else. So let's say we're going to bring in another motorized guard here. There we go. So he's ready. Death Machine has a unit that's rebuilding. We're going to take him off. We are going to put him on. There we go. Not deployed, needs reinforcements. So let's go ahead and shoot out the reinforcements. And you're going to do this here on this reinforce button. And it's going to ask you to pay. You need 23 tank crew members. We got the tanks but no crew. I think last time we reinforced, we got crew and no tanks, and then we reinforced, and you know the story. Anyway, we're going to deploy out of Warsaw, and we're going to put everything out here. So we're going to hit the deploy button, purchase, and then choose Warsaw, and we're pretty much going to do this all the way down. With these type of troops, honestly, ground troops, even with motorbikes and everything, it's hard to lose war funds as a Soviet. So what I like to do is make it extremely annoying for the opposing. I'm not going to put tanks out because right now they're rolling with everything. So if you can see here on this bar, now this is waiting to queue up. We're number 5 in the queue on this one. We're number 4 in the queue, so we're waiting on a lot of infantry. If we look at faction resources, bang, there's 15 in the queue, but look how much we have stockpiled. Matter of fact, the only thing that we're waiting on really is light tanks, which is I'm glad I didn't deploy, because they would have taken ages to come out. And then, of course, recon vehicles. With a new vehicle being launched for Soviet, everybody's putting those into battles, and they're extremely useful. So you see the queue size pop back down to 0. So you'll notice that all of our troops now should be right outside of Warsaw. Bang, there we go. And now we can kind of see what the town defenses are around here. And that's kind of neat. See, the reinforcements are going to shoot out and then down to here to the tanks. So let's see. We need to take a motorized guy out. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to set up some defenses kind of around here, that next layer. We need to go out there and see what's out there. So let's send a motorized guy out there. We'll send a motorized guy out there. And we'll send a motorized guy out there. And I'll explain to you as these troops are moving why we're doing it this way. We're kind of creating a little bit of a shield here. And now we'll send our slow walkers out. We got some jeeps with this guy. And then some quick response guys here. Let's see who's in this town. See, this town has 1,800 troops in there. And I was going to send out some more, but I'm going to bring these guys over here as well. And you just literally left-click on the thing and drag and drop it to the town you want to go through. If you want to just not send it anywhere, just put it into the gray and it won't go. Yeah, there we go. All right, so cool. So as these guys are walking out, let's take a look on the map and see who is fighting where. If I pop this battle open, see, look. See the amount of troops that are in here with recon, some paratroopers, some airplanes. This battle would be fun as per the battle director or the update that says that if there's a number of troops in there, you're going to play it, or it will auto-resolve in 30 minutes. So it takes 30 minutes to auto-resolve a battle that's fun, quote unquote. So if it was not fun, meaning like let's say there was 120 infantry only versus like 80 infantry only, that game would not play. It would auto-resolve within 5 minutes of being battle ready. So let's see if I can come up with we'll pop around the map here. That one played, obviously. And it looks like all of them are going to play because there's a lot of people on the weekends, man. If this was like a Tuesday, you'd have a lot of battles that don't have people in them or not enough troops. See, here's an example. This is not going to be a fun battle. 200 troops versus 54 troops. It's a skirmish, so this is going to auto-resolve. These troops will stay at 205. These will take some losses and some morale drop as well. And then this skirmish will push into this town right here, which is Krakow. So if we had troops in this town already, I'd send them down there to reinforce. It makes them shoot another battle. I was going to try and jump on there. So let's see who else is moving down this way. Nigerlu, look, that guy's retreating. Badutsky, he's a really good Soviet player, and he plays quite a bit. So look, a lot of these towns are reinforced. 108 in this town, so we could pop in some units there. And look at these towns over here. 243, that's good. 204, that's good. That means they're going to have to fight at least a half an hour in all these battles over here. What that means is that there's time for people to get online. There's time for people to get troops out of the queue and pull up and reinforce. It just gives you a ton of options there as you look through the map. So let's continue to look through this war front here. Glogau, like that one. That's actually a really good. If you're going to look for battles to make money in, you're going to want to find a defensive battle, and you're going to want to find a battle where you have resources that your enemy doesn't. So right now this is all foot soldiers here, and you've got a couple of recons, which means snipers, non-infantry snipers, meaning they have the upgraded scope. They're built for sniping. They got the camouflage and all that stuff. You could certainly build a sniper out of an infantry guy. I wouldn't recommend that. Look at this next battle over. See, now this is a defensive battle that would be tough to play in. Your opponent has tanks, but you have planes, so it'd kind of be fun if you're a pilot. You got infantry. Both sides have recon. Let's keep moving. That was the same battle. Let's keep moving over here. Now this one's not fun our way. So with only 54 troops here in the corner, they're going to have to reinforce this battle, or it's going to auto-resolve towards us. And you'll see this light will stop blinking, and those troops will push back down to the airfield. Let's come up here to a defense to Cottbus, which looks like we're actually going to lose. But we had tanks and everything still. They got into the city there. Let's continue to look around the map. And I'm waiting until our troops over there move in, and I'm going to show you how to make some defensive plays over here. All right, Shidlu. Okay, let's just infantry troops. So it looks like they're pushing hard with infantry only. I don't really know why. Yep, here's another defensive battle. This would be a great one to play in. Look, you're going to have medium tanks and tank destroyers against infantry only, which means I wouldn't spawn those in unless you have HE shells to bomb infantry units in locations. They're going to be tank hunting and taking out a lot of resources in that battle if I was a German. Here's another good defense. It's infantry on infantry. Let's see, and here's an assault actually. Look at that. The Germans have 6,000 units in there. Now, even if they win this battle, all of those troops are going to take a 10% morale hit. So you see, whoever's down here and put this 237 in knows that if they make the battle fun and it has to play, even if it auto-resolves, they're going to lose 10% morale. Now, if they lose that battle, all of these troops would lose 20% morale. And when you get down to less than 10% morale, it's going to take your troops off the board. So that would be a huge deal if we could actually go in there. And if you're offline, like say you're the German guy that's offline, and we end up getting 5 battles in there that win, your troops would scatter. If we got 10 battles that we lost, your troops would still take the morale hit. All right, so cool. So a lot of the troops have moved out there, and look, we moved the troops into this town, and immediately it went into a defensive stand. So look, there's 255 troops, and that means that this battle we'll have to play. It takes them a half an hour. Even if we lose troops in there, I'm okay with that. Look, they're sending more troops down from the top town. So let's pop in this town. This battle's going to be fun. So we don't need to keep our troops in there. Let's move them up one and see if we can start to reinforce these towns out here. Let's look at this one. That has 1,000, so we're going to pull our troops out of here as well. And we're going to back them out. And let's look at this one. It's the tanks, I believe. Yep, they got reinforced, so we're going to back these tanks up a little bit. There's a lot of units in this town, so we're going to pull out of there. You're a bad Russian if you leave 1,000 and so troops in there when you can scatter them out and force the enemy team to slow down. See, what the Germans are great at doing is starting a ton of battles. Look, they have this whole front to the war here. This is their entire front here. That's probably about 30 battles that are going on. That's going to be extremely tough for them to field teams in all the battles. And if you pop into there, let's see if you pop into one. Come on, load up. This black ping is just like the computer on the RTS map taking forever. This is why I don't like playing in Steam, but my machine records better in Steam, so I don't like to go out of there. But Steam takes a while to play. I just usually go to the website. There we go. If you look, the Germans have the most players online right now. There's no numbers beside their name, and this is the Soviet. 46% underdogs right now. That means that if we had, if we both had 100 players in the game, it would be 0-0. It'd be even. There'd be no numbers up, right? But that means that for every 100 German players, there's only like, what is that? 54 Soviet players on. See, 46% underdogs. So they can field more battles than us, and that's why we have to keep our attack teams out and not overload all the cities. So, and they're pouring into this city right now. Let's see who this is. Tihi. Man, a very good German player. In Thorning, they play as a clan, are pushing in to try to take out to Warsaw. So we're going to leave our troops out here at the... Oh, I've meant to stop these guys from coming down, but too late. Oh well. So you guys get the hang of how that works on the attack teams on the RTS map. You don't load cities up. You don't leave 5, 6, 7,000, 10,000 troops in there at sometimes. You want to keep a low amount of troops in your lines, just enough to slow the enemy down and to let your other officers take a stab at reinforcing where they need to, right? So even though you know you're going to lose a couple of people, they're going to back up to the next city where there's more people waiting to reinforce, and then it keeps the enemy from just marching and punching right through. So anyway, I hope you've learned a little bit about tactics with attack teams and how to set up assaults and defenses. We're going to go, the next time I update this, we're going to probably look at Intermediate to advanced stuff with like paratrooper units and tank assault and defenses, when to put tanks and planes into a battle, when not to. But I wanted to do a very basic look at attack teams. Any questions, please leave them in the comment box. Have fun.